Hello and welcome back to the One Iron. Today we've got a lot to discuss. We got two events going on right now. We have the PGA tournament at the PGA Tours at the Genesis Invitational at Riviera Country Club, and then we also have the Corn Ferry Tour there at Lakewood National at the Lecom Classic. We're going to talk about the upcoming tournaments for the PGA Tour and the WGC at the Concession, which is now the Workday WGC. We've got the Masters coming up. We also have maybe news about Tiger Woods coming back tomorrow. Well, not coming back tomorrow, but news about when he's going to come back. And then we'll just watch some of the featured afternoon featured groups. We've got some good guys this afternoon. We've got, let's see, we've got Rory, we've got Bryson, and we've got Putnam. A lot of people were a little ticked off about that one, but we got Brooks, JT, and Xander in the other one. They tee off, actually, Bryson, Rory, and Putnam should be teeing off right now. Let's see, I don't have the coverage up right yet. But anyway, the Corn Ferry Tour, they're playing the Lecom Classic, which is at Lakewood National in Sarasota, Florida. This is Arnold Palmer course, designed, it's a championship course. It's a par 71, 7,113 yards. Andrew Novak won here last year. He's actually playing again this year. It's a pretty awkward situation because they have it situated where the way the Corn Ferry Tour works is they're continuing the 2020 season over to the 2021 season. So basically, Andrew Novak could win this tournament twice in one season, which would be, a feat, I guess. Pretty rare. So due to COVID, we have these crazy situations happening. I mean, that'd be pretty cool to say, hey, I did this and I won twice in 1 year at the same course. I mean, 2 wins, 1 more, and I guess he would end up going into automatically up to the PGA Tour. On Tuesday, the one pick that we thought would be doing great is Nick Hardy. He's coming off of a tour, he's played on the PGA Tour during the off season for the Corn Ferry Tour. He had a tied 14th at the Sony Open in Hawaii, and he had a tied 42nd at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Everybody knows that Brooks came through and won the Waste Management Phoenix Open. So hopefully Nick Hardy does pretty well. He's coming off of those 2 starts on the PGA Tour. He currently stands at 15th out of the 25 of the list of players who will make the cut for their PGA Tour card. Looking at the leaderboard right now, these guys are going to have to go very low this week. The leader is currently at -7, I believe. Oh no, sorry, 8. That's Brett Coletta and George Cunningham. Nick Hardy is at -4, so he's going to have to get on the ball tomorrow. Andrew Novak is at even through 10. So Andrew Novak is potentially could move up to. Oh no, sorry. He can't potentially go anywhere, but he has the chance of winning the tournament twice in one season. The interesting pick that I wanted to talk about was Jared Wolff. So if Jared Wolff is able to pull out a win here at the Lecom Classic, then he automatically gets his PGA Tour card, and he's pretty much ready to go for the rest of the PGA Tour season, which would be a pretty big win for him. Right now at the top of the leaderboard, we mentioned we had Brett Coletta, George Cunningham, Dan McCarthy, Mark Hensby, Tommy Gainey, and Jamie Lovemark. We've seen him before play on the PGA Tour. There's a bunch of people at -6 right now. But we'll definitely have to keep everybody updated. We'll continue to follow these guys tomorrow. And I'm pretty I would love to see Wolff go ahead and punch his card into the PGA Tour. That would be pretty nice for today. The Riviera right now is playing dirty. Our featured groups this morning were just struggling to put the ball on the fairways. I mean, the fairways are tight here, but it was nuts. I mean, DJ playing out of this deep rough, he just hasn't been able to hit his approach shots. I mean, let's see. We started out with a double bogey from Collin Morikawa and two bogeys from Rahm and Cantlay, and then Cantlay luckily Cantlay got a stroke back on the next hole, but he's currently playing pretty well. He's at -3. Um, but I mean, it's nuts. These guys are just struggling, and not only that, but putting is pretty bad right now. I mean, some of these approach shots from these guys, they're just missing the greens, and it just makes it so difficult trying to put on this Poana from off the green. But anyway, let's talk about the upcoming tournaments. We have the WGC at the Concession, which was moved from Mexico due to COVID, and now it's being sponsored by Workday, which is very nice. This is in Bradenton, Florida. It's a nice area. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to go back to or have them back in Mexico, but COVID. There are a number of options right now for this field. The minimum is 72. The top 50 players from February 15th in the World Golf Rankings are going, or allowed to play, not necessarily going. And then also the top 50 players from February, as of the end of this weekend, are able to go. So whoever does well at Genesis could have a chance at making it into that top 50. And then the top 30 players for the FedEx Cup also are going into it. And then the top 10 players from the FedEx Cup from February 22nd. So if anybody could break into the top 10 players, which is a possibility, there are a couple guys that are able to break into the top 10 with a win here at the Genesis. The top 20 players from the Race to Dubai, and then we have Japan Golf, Australian Tour Golf, Sunshine Tour, the Asian Tour. It's a long list, but it'll be around 72 people. Last year's winner was Patrick Reed at -18, and we'll definitely be seeing him teeing it up again to contend for the title, along with the world number 1 DJ, who is also playing at the Genesis right now. There are a number of players that are playing in the Genesis, and they're trying to make it into this field. One of those is Ricky Fowler. He's dropped out of the top 50 and would need, I think, at least a 4th place, like a solo 4th place, or even better, to get into the WGC field. We also have Siwoo Kim, Jordan Spieth, Corey Connors are also fighting for the chance to break the top 50. There's only a couple of them that could make it into the FedEx Cup top 10. I think that would probably be, and they would have to win. Basically, that's 550 points. I think that's Jordan, Siwoo Kim, and Connors can break into the top 10 without getting into the top 50. But that's with a win. So, I mean, good luck. I mean, it's one of the tougher fields. I think it's in the 618 in strength. For the Masters, we still have some time, but there are so many people that are already in it because either they are or they've already won the Masters. So tournament champions have a lifetime exemption. The U.S. Open champions, they have 5 years after they won. The British, they have 5 years. PGA champion, 5 years. The Players actually gets 3 years, which is pretty nice. The new one that they've put into place is the current Olympic gold medalist gets a year. So that's nice. There's a lot going on for that one. We still have plenty of time. They still have up till the week before the Masters to actually get into the field. Yeah. But there are a lot of people playing this week. If they win the Genesis, then you get your invitation to the Masters. So everybody's playing for that. There are a lot of players playing for that big opening. Winning anywhere on the PGA Tour gets you an opening. Well, it has to be full points, full FedEx Cup. This is definitely a full FedEx Cup. Actually, I think it's more than your typical FedEx Cup points. But whoever wins this week is definitely get a chance to play at the Masters. That could open up doors to other tournaments. It's good to win on the tour, and it's good to win at the Genesis Invitational. That's another thing. Is they changed this from an open to an invitational. They've narrowed the field, which is, I guess, kind of nice. I don't know. They still have they played a college tournament on Monday, I believe, and there's a college player playing. He actually won in a playoff, and he is he's he won I think $50,000 for his he won $50,000 for his college, I think. So that's pretty sweet. Um, you can't really complain when you're winning 50 grand for your team to go play somewhere, I guess. But anyway, we got live feed coming up. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna try to pop that up real quick so we can follow these guys along. Definitely want to take a look at the leaderboard and see how everybody's doing. So it looks like we've got Wyndham Clark right now is leading it at -4. Um, then we've got Patrick Cantlay and Matthew Fitzpatrick at -4. DJ's in there at -3. He's actually turning it around on the back nine, which is pretty nice. Actually, Matthew Fitzpatrick had an awesome eagle on one, which is a very great par 5 scoring hole. He hit a perfect drive, nice approach shot, sunk a 25-foot putt, which was pretty nice. That puts him up there on that leaderboard. I try to get this feed up. Let's see. So the 1-iron picks that we had this week on Tuesday were JT, Bryson DeChambeau, Xander, DJ, Victor Hovland, Finau, and Carlos Ortiz. I'm really excited to see how Carlos Ortiz does today. He's playing in a later group, so we'll have some information about him later. Obviously, JT we're going to follow, Bryson we're going to follow, Xander we're going to follow, so apparently we picked the featured group. DJ played this morning. He was also in the featured group, but we weren't expecting him to do as well as he is right now. He's -3. He's on 9, so he's hitting out of some thick stuff right now. He has not been able to find the fairway, but they're just showing a stat. Greens in regulation, he's 76, so it's 4th for the season, which is pretty crazy. But Victor Hovland, I thought he was only at even right now. Let me check. Victor, yeah, he's only at even through 15. That's not terrible, but he's going to have a very hard day tomorrow if he doesn't score on these final holes. It's going to be difficult to come back, especially if we got Wyndham Clark. Wyndham Clark's finished, but we have Fitzpatrick still playing, and he could potentially pick up another stroke here. Put him at -5 at top of the leaderboard, and we have some big guys playing still this afternoon. So I don't know. I liked Victor going into this, and I still like Victor going into this to make the cut. Hopefully he can make a run at it tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see him on Sunday close to that top 5. Oh man, Finau, poor Finau. He was on the top of the leaderboard, and then I think it was around -3, and then he met, I think it was the second hole. Oh, it was bad. He had a double bogey on the second, and then he followed that up on the third with a bogey. Just bad timing. But I think he teed off on I'm pretty sure it was the second. There's no way he got double bogey on the first. Yeah, it must have been the second. He teed off, put it in the bunker, and then he struggled to get out of the bunker and 3-putted. So, or no, he struggled to get out of the bunker, and he was still on the fringe, then putted, and then missed the putt. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, basically. And then he followed it up with a bogey on 3. So, not a good start so far for him. Unfortunately, he was at the top of the leaderboard, so that's kind of a bummer. But anyway, DJ's at -3. We had Adam Scott. Adam Scott is last year's winner, and he came out. I was surprised. He was actually favored pretty well on the sports books too, so I still didn't bet him. There's no way. But anyway, he's at -2 right now, which is pretty nice. And then we also have Rahm at, I think he's still at -1. He hasn't, oh man, Rahm hasn't been making putts. He hasn't been hitting well off of the tee. Yeah, he's at -1. Cantlay still at -3. Bubba, oh, I was expecting a lot more from Bubba, but that's okay. Um, I think he's still at even. Yeah, he's still at even. They're coming up on the last hole. Oh, yeah, and they're just now showing Bryson. He's putting for birdie on the first. That's a par 5, 509 yards, but that's a pretty cool tee shot coming up. It's an elevated tee, and Bryson just sunk his birdie putt, so he's starting the round off right with a -1. Looks like JT will also have, or no, Rory. Oh no, yeah, Rory's probably gonna have a birdie putt too. We'll see. But yeah, that's a pretty cool tee shot off of 1. It's elevated green. It's got the clubhouse behind it. And typically, when there is a crowd, Andrew Putnam putting for birdie, and he missed it, rimmed out. But yeah, that clubhouse is super nice. And when there isn't COVID, it's the fans pretty much surround that tee shot. It's a pretty cool spot. Maybe next year we'll get to see some fans get back to normal, get out of this COVID situation. But who else do we have? Yep, Bubba. Collin Morikawa. Oh boy. A lot of people were thinking Collin was going to pull out an upset here, but I believe he's back at +2. Just like John Rahm, just haven't been able to find the fairway. Yeah, he's at he finished at +2. Just wasn't able to find the fairway, and just putts weren't going in, things weren't going his way. I mean, that happens. That happens. But I mean, again, this is only Thursday, so maybe tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. But yeah, Fitzpatrick, I like seeing him on the top of the leaderboard. Finau, I wish was still on top of the leaderboard, but no go. Oh, Will Zalatoris, yes. Where is he? He was at -2. Yep, he finished at -2. It was a great day for Will. I mean, besides the 2 bogeys at 3 and 4, it was a great day for him. I was surprised. Maybe a long shot win here. I'd like to see what his odds are after this round is over. Dustin's trying to finish up his 9th. He's shooting his 3rd shot. I don't think he's on the green yet. So, yeah, he's in the bunker, side bunker. He's going to shoot his 3rd shot here. See if he can get it close and safe for par. But I was surprised that Snedeker was on the leader, or close to the top of the leaderboard. Let's see. Let's hope he's still back in there. But he didn't come out and do well at the AT&T. But hey, can't win them all, right? So it's always good to see him playing. He's always in good spirits, even when he is back of the pack. Now, let's see. Close my screen. Alright, he ended up at even. That's not bad. Oh, he's not done yet. He's only at 15. What did he struggle on the front 9? Yep, he struggled on 2, which is a tough hole. It seems to be a tough hole for these guys in 6. He's playing 7, 8, and 9. That front 9, pretty crazy. But the back 9 has 15, which is probably one of the toughest holes, I think. Or 10. The 10th hole is one of the toughest holes. It's a long par 4. But, yeah. These guys are pushing through. Bubba might end up with -1 for the day, which would be pretty sweet to see. Bubba came out and mentioned that he was pretty open about struggling with, depression and just, I mean, these guys have to feel this pressure to win on the tour. I mean, 1, they're playing for a lot of money. 2, they're away from their family for extended periods of time. 3, it's always up and down, Granted, you want to be out there playing consistent every week, but that's just not the way the game is played and not the way it's meant to be played. There's going to be good players one week, and then next week they could suck. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's a very mental game, and Rory just teed off. Rory's been playing really well. I mean, his accuracy off the tee has got to be off the charts right now. I didn't see what he did on his first hole, but he just striped one right down the middle on the second. And that fairway is pretty tight. Adam Scott's putting for a birdie on 9 to finish out the round. He's currently at -2. He could do it. He's wearing this shirt that he's wearing though. It's like it's a very ugly. I want to say orangish. I don't know. It's not attractive. I don't know who picked that out, but he definitely wears some good stuff. But this shirt today is not looking good. But he's definitely got a long putt for birdie. The wind's definitely picking up. I mean, I think it's been blowing pretty much all day, but it's pretty windy today. So, I mean, they talk about there's a sea breeze here, so, and it's pretty much on every hole. But he's got 13 feet for birdie, and it looks like he's gonna miss it to the right. Looks like a misread. But Collin put in a new putting stroke. Collin Morikawa put in a new putting stroke, and I just don't think it's working for him. I mean, granted, when you put in a new putting stroke, you need time. I mean, he's going to need at least a month or two to really get this thing down pat, and maybe he sees results. But today he didn't look good. He didn't look good at all. I don't know if that's just, putting on Poana or what. We are putting on Poana here today, and it is a very, I mean, they said that it was pretty dry, so it's really fast. That might be why DJ was struggling to keep the ball on the greens today. But I don't know. DJ typically comes out and he likes to just do him. I mean, he's still at -3, so he's at -3 putting for par on the 9th to end of the day. I mean, -3 tied for 5th. That's not bad for the day. Even though I felt like he just started so slow, and it didn't look like he was connecting with his swings off the tee. Typically, he's really good at striping it with his driver. I mean, that's pretty much his go-to club, and he parred it. So he finishes up the round at -3. Hopefully, we can cut over to, or well, at least cut back to Rory and Bryson and Andrew Putnam, who started off his round at -1. There were a lot of people frustrated that Andrew Putnam was in the featured group. Everybody wanted to see Spieth. I mean, I get it that Spieth is, on some sort of, well, not necessarily a roll, but he's on I don't know. He's doing Spieth things, right? I mean, he hasn't won, so as soon as he wins, I think that we'll get more of a pushback on whether or not he's in featured groups. But Bubba ended the day at even, so that's not a bad day for Bubba. But man, such a bummer. I can't believe that he bogeyed this second. But Adam Scott has really turned around his putting game. It's surprising. It's shocking that he's going from somebody who's an anchor putter to the belly, moving away from that since regulations now. But it's just shocking how well he's playing on this course. Like, he just loves Riviera for some reason. I don't know if it's the Poana or if he just loves the area. I don't know. But he's always been in. I mean, he's always in contention. Bryson's hitting out of the rough on the second hole. I mean, this second hole is pretty tight. Like, the fairway is very tight here, but. And they put up a fence. I love it. They put up a fence on the left-hand side. Whenever we go golfing, I always laugh at the fact that pretty much all the golf courses we go to, there are houses along the golf course, and I just always joke about how I would never purchase a house along a golf course, especially with just amateurs playing the golf course. They're definitely going to hit your house. And then they always have the liability sticker on your golf cart saying, you're responsible for any damages. Like, I mean, who's teeing off and saying, I'm going to go chase that slice? I don't think so. You sit there for a second and say, I didn't hear anything, so it must not hit anything. But we're going to watch. Hopefully we'll get to see Spieth and well, not Spieth. We'll get to see JT tee off, Brooks tee off. That's actually a really good group. Brooks, JT, and Xander. We're just excited to have JT back so soon. I didn't think he's going to come back so quickly. I don't think he really has any reason to be here besides the fact that he wants to play golf. It was unfortunate that he didn't have a bad round at the end of the Waste Management Phoenix Open, but he, was just going through the emotional toll of a loss. So that's a struggle. You can't. I give him props I think he tied 13th, but he set himself up for a chance at running for the title at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. But you know, if you lose your grandfather, I give him props for even showing up the next day. He probably would have caught some flack for not showing up on a Sunday when he was in contention, but still, it's rough. I didn't even think he'd be here this week. Speaking of people that are not here, Daniel Berger's not here, withdrawing on Tuesday, I believe it was. Yeah, he withdrew on Tuesday. But why would he? He just won. That's the thing. People are frustrated that these guys are withdrawing after they win the week before, and it's like, well, you have to enter in the tournament by Friday, and if you're playing. If you're playing the week before, then you're playing on Friday, and you're playing to see if you're going to make the cut for the weekend. And then, hey, guess what? I won this weekend. I don't want to play next weekend. I know I told everybody I was going to play on Friday, but I'm not playing. Daniel Berger just won like over $1 million. He got that nice crystal. He got his ticket into the Masters, I believe. He got his ticket into the WGC. Actually, I think he already had his WGC. But there's no reason for him to play. Especially for a course that I don't think that he would have played well at. He's a great iron striker, but I don't really think he's a good putter on Poana, but he won last weekend, so I don't know. It sure helps to get 2 eagles in the same round. I'd give anything to just birdie a couple holes. Brooks ended up, looks like he parred the second. He's at -1. So these guys are coming off to a hotter start than this morning. Andrew Putnam's putting for a long birdie putt. That could put him at -1. Oh, he is just missing the cup. That thing pretty much was in and slipped out. But Andrew Putnam, he's at even right now through 2. So this is the guy that nobody wanted to watch, but I feel like he's holding his own with with Brooks and Bryson. Let's see, Justin for birdie through 1. Let's hope he gets it. He's a bomber. He should be getting birdie on this par 5. Yep, -1. That was a pretty simple 2-3 footer. So we got Brooks and we have Justin at -1 through 1. Looks like we've got Rory third shot on the second. It was a pretty long one. Very fast, and he misses. Oh man, outside edge, and he's got a pretty nice 2-footer to put it in for par. So we'll see how that goes. I really liked Rory. He's been playing so well. Like, his tee shots are great. His approach shots around the green have been great, but his putting has just been, I want to say terrible, but I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as what Collin Morikawa did today. Brooks just put his tee shot on the second pretty much in the other fairway. That'll be a tough one to come out of since he has to go through trees. That's another thing. Around this course, these guys have been having to hit out of the rough, and the trees are just crazy. They block almost every shot you could possibly think of. Ooh, Bryson put one in for par. He saved par on the second. He's still at -1. Speaking of another guy who used to not be able to putt, Bryson, man, he's really turning it around. If he can continue to putt the way he's putting right now, and hitting it off the tee, as long as his off the tee accuracy is on point, then Bryson really has a good chance at winning this. JT just teed off on the second, and he pretty much striped it right down the middle. I mean, his game is on point. I don't see this. I feel like this tournament is his to lose. If anybody's going to win this tournament wire to wire, it's JT. I don't. There's no way. I mean, I don't. I can't match anybody else up winning this wire to wire. Xander is pretty close, but after watching him at the Waste Management Phoenix Open on Sunday, and coming down to the final two holes, I mean, he put the ball in the water left. Off of the tee shot where he needed, I mean, it seemed like he was going for the green, and he didn't need to go for the green. I think that was on the 15th, I think. He put the ball in the water on the left, and it wasn't even necessary. The days before, he laid up, chipped in, and birdied, I think. And then that day, he just put it in the water. He knew that Brooks was coming after him. I mean, Brooks is definitely silent but deadly. Came from behind and just stole that one from them. It was nuts. I mean, so they're on the third hole, and Bryson put his in the rough again. So I don't know. So that's the only thing with Bryson. He can hit the ball far. He can do damage around the green, but he just cannot control his accuracy. I mean, we saw him at the Saudi. I don't think he didn't do well at the Saudi. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens the rest of the round for Bryson. But I mean, I would like to see him win at least get close to something on this, so that he can boost his morale for the. I think he's going to be at the WGC, so that'll be a good one for him. But he hasn't been. He hasn't been driving the ball well at all, and that's not going to help you on these courses that have tight fairways. I mean, it's just not going to help at all. I want to see Carlos Ortiz is supposed to be teeing off soon, I think. I really am excited for this guy. He's got a really good chance at having a pretty good season. No, he's not teeing off yet. We still got some time. Also, another notable that I didn't mention, Sergio Garcia. Sergio can do some damage around these tight fairways, good putting. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him late on Sunday contending. I always pull for Wesley Bryan too. Love watching them do their podcasts. Him and George. Well, they don't do a podcast. They do a YouTube where they go and play. See who can beat who. Obviously, Wesley always wins, but it's always fun to watch. Who else is in this field? Patrick Harrington still has to play. I don't think there's anybody else. Gary Woodland's coming in. Oh, I wonder how Hoffman did. Hoffman was looking good at the AT&T Pro-Am, but then just faded. I was trying to look at the tracker on Twitter. Looks like he did pretty well. He's at -2 right now, finished off. These guys on the tracker, if you ever, I mean, most of you guys are guys and gals are on Twitter and watching these. They have the trackers. They are just on point, man. They dedicate their pretty much Thursday through Sunday tracking these guys, posting their pretty much shot by shot, which is pretty nice, especially when you're not able to get some type of reception to watch. And last weekend at the AT&T Pro-Am, it was difficult because they didn't really have coverage at the Spyglass. And somehow these trackers were able to figure out who was doing what. Xander's hitting out of the left rough on the second, which we've seen a lot of guys. So we'll see how this goes. This rough's pretty tough too. Oh man, coming out of this stuff, it's so thick. Man, it looks like he hit a good shot. He's Yeah, he's on the green on the back side. That should be a long putt for birdie. I mean, it's a makeable putt for birdie. Xander's definitely known for making some long putts. We'll see how that goes. We'll see Brooks coming up here for an approach shot. His approach shot, he hit it over into the trees, basically. He's hitting out of that tough rough, too. He's going to have to hit a low. Is he going to go low? It looks like he's going to go low. Up. Let's see how he goes. It's coming up onto the green. He's short. He's really short. He's going to have to chip that on. Yeah, he's going to have to chip that up. That's going to be a tough chip. But we've seen him hole it out from like 120. Or no, that was 90. 90 yards. Nice little putt, or a nice little two bounce roll in at the waste management. That was nuts. Justin's in the fairway, I believe, unless he rolled off into the left. A lot of the guys are hitting theirs and rolling off into the left rough on this second. But the other story that came up, Xander's dad told him to go for it on, I think, the fourth, par fourth, I think it is. He's like, you are not laying it up. You suck at hitting from 50 to 150 yards. You're gonna go for it, and that's pretty funny. I mean, his dad has always been his coach, so it's always good to hear those two go at it. I think there's definitely a series. JT just hit his approach shot, and it was shorter than what he wanted it to be. He's gonna have a pretty tough putt. But I think there's a series on, I want to say it's on Golf Channel, that it's about him and his dad and how their relationship and how he's been his coach. And it's a pretty good one if you can check it out. Let's see. They're still following. So the DeChambeau, McIlroy, Putnam group is, we have DeChambeau at -1, McIlroy at -1, Putnam's at even. And they're on the third hole right now. Putnam's hitting his approach shot in. And it's a par 4, 428 yards. He's got 147 yards to the hole. We'll see how good he does. I mean, I haven't really done much research on Andrew Putnam to know whether or not he's even got a chance at. I mean, I didn't even look at him because I didn't think he had a chance at this course. Yeah, he just hit his approach shot. It landed on the green, but it looks like it went off into the fringe. There's no way he's making that putt. No way. But McIlroy's on he's probably like 120 out. And we'll see his approach shot in. He rolled off into the, I wouldn't say, it's like this second cut. He's got 109, 110. He's pretty deadly from this point. Let's see if he can put it on close. I mean, these greens are tough. They're gonna wreak havoc on everybody's games. He's got like a 25-footer for birdie. That's gonna be a tough putt. But these courses, whenever they set up the pin locations, I mean, there are several spots they can set up the pin locations on these greens, and it just make it so difficult. Oh, look, Jordan started his round at -1. That's good. It's good to know he capitalized on that scoring hole. But wherever they put these pin locations, it's like a total different ballgame because these greens are ridiculous. Like, they're so fast. Wherever you put it, the ball is either going to run off the green or it's going to be spot on. Let's see if Bryson can hit a nice. He's got 103. He's pretty much the same spot. Yeah, that's going to be tough. Yeah. So Bryson and Rory have some tough putts coming up. Andrew Putnam's still off the green, so he's going to have to chip it in. But they're showing Jordan for eagle. So he went for eagle. He was putting it in for eagle. Must have been a close one. Yeah, it was a tap in for birdie. So, hey, that's a good start for Jordan on the first, to know that he must have hit a good tee shot and followed up by a good approach shot, followed up by a good putt for a tap in birdie. So, I mean, it's good to hear right now. Let's see if Justin can make this. What is he? I think he's like 20 feet out. We'll see if he can make it. 20, 25 feet. But, I mean, yeah. So, he's got a tough one. It's uphill. I mean, this like I was saying, every day they could put these pin locations somewhere different, and it's just a whole different ball game. We don't know who's going to win it. I mean, the field is very strong. Justin just missed on the right side, but it was a good pace and it was a good line. So at least he's feeling. I mean, I'm just happy that he's feeling his putting, because I know that when we were at the Waste Management, he was getting a little frustrated with his putting. I'm sorry. So Rory didn't even make it onto the green. He's chipping right now for his third shot, and his chip shot was very bad, almost to the point that it was going to roll off the green again. So that's going to be a tough one to save par. So that means that Bryson's also not on the green and chipping in. So these guys are having some trouble getting out of that rough. It's thick. It's some thick stuff. So Xander's got a putt for birdie on the second. And this is a long one. I'd be surprised if he gets this one. It's a very tough putt. And he is, I mean, they're saying that he's 139th in total birdies for the season. That's 55th. So, pretty good stroke. And he sunk it, man. So, Xander's feeling it. Xander's on a good start so far. Maybe we'll see last weekend. Or no, it wasn't last weekend. Yeah, no, I think it was last weekend. They switched over the featured group so that it flipped over to, I think, Jordan. They just switched the featured group mid-broadcast, which I thought was pretty nuts. Oh, so Bryson is not chipping, even though he's off the green. He's putting it. He's got a pretty crazy line going right now. He hit it up over the ridge, and he's going to expect this thing to drop back in, which it did not do. He may have made this worse for himself, so I don't know. Yeah. But we definitely have him as our at least top 5. We're hoping that JT wins this one, because Brooks is on the second putting for par. It's a pretty long putt for par. 15 feet, and he just missed it low. These guys have had some problems with the greens today. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see how the rest of the week turns out. But I think we're going to let everyone go for now. Thanks for joining to listen in and watch some of the live streaming. We'll definitely have some updates probably tomorrow afternoon about how everybody's looking so far, especially on the Korn Ferry Tour. I'm excited to see, because Jared Wolf just got going, I believe. Let me see if I can check and see if he started. He's -1 through 8, so that's not too bad. Again, the leaders right now are at -8, so we'll have to see if he can pull one out. If he pulls one out this weekend, then he gets promoted to the PGA Tour, and we'll probably be seeing him some events, probably after the Masters. I doubt we'd see him before. Justin just put his in for a par putt, so Justin is -1 through 2. Bryson's looking at a par putt right now to save par, and it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a left or right putt, and he's got to save. I mean, he's at -1. His putting stroke is so awkward, so stiff. It just doesn't look like. It doesn't look like fun. But what can I say? I'm not on anywhere near any of these guys' skill level. Yeah, he missed his putt, so he's gonna drop a shot back to even. Definitely check us. We'll check back in. Hopefully Carlos Ortiz does pretty well. That'd be a big surprise. Definitely a long shot pick for the week. Also, if you get a chance, check out our website, oneironpodcast.com. We're on Twitter at oneiron8. Thank you guys for listening. Subscribe, follow, give us some reviews. We'll talk to you guys and gals later. Hopefully I'll have something up on, I want to do something tomorrow, but most likely Saturday. All right, see you guys.